Hey guys, it's Urban Investor here, back with another video. And I guess what's quite fitting recently is we're reviewing Bitcoin, as given Bitcoin is the play. So this is a continuation of the last few videos, so do check that out if you've missed that. Do check it out, it's quite interesting to see how things have panned out. So far things are looking pretty on course in terms of what I said in my initial kickoff video. Is Bitcoin going down to 3k controversially rather, and we can see we're pretty much on track so far. It's quite a bold claim, and as we'll see in the subsequent technical analysis, we've still got a long way to go whether that happens. However, just before anyone comes out and says I'm fudding, this is just purely my view based on a possibility and based on the probabilities of all of the sort of outcomes. So I'm holding Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin to go up in the long run, so it's not FUD, it's just my 2 cents based on some resistance that we've seen. So let's jump in straight into it and see what's happened based on what we've done previously, right? So if I remember correctly, we come up to this level, this massive critical level. We can see we had this massive downtrend. If I can draw it correctly, so let's just draw it here roughly, right? So we had this channel, we clearly identified this as a bear trend, right? And we said despite this movement here, because we've seen this in the past happen, we cannot confirm this is a bull market until we break this resistance point, right? And it looked like we were going to do that. If you look at it, we had a green candle, and I think when we made the video, it was more of a, I don't think the day closed fully. It looked like we were going to break in some respects. Obviously, I said in the video, if I remember correctly, we need a couple of days of confirmation, possibly with high volume and a massive candle, really, something like this, or solid candle rather than something like this with the wicks where it shows uncertainty. And what's happened since, we can see we've clearly had a rejection. So we're not in a bull market. We're still in this overall bull trend since, when was this? 16th, 17th of December, so quite a long time now, guys. Excuse me. So clearly we're still in the bull trend, right? And this, we'll have to wait and see, if we do continue to drop down, as I sort of highlighted, and then this will confirm this is a bull trap. We won't know until we have a few more data points, really. But what did we end up with the video? We said, okay, if we close this, we're likely going to go test the 11,700 and basically go up to 12,700, 12, 13, basically between 12 and 13k, and then if we are gonna see resistance, we'll come back and we'll finish somewhere between the 10k and 9,400 range. Let me zoom in to show it clearly. Right, so that's what we said, and we're clearly in this channel at the minute. If we move to the 4 hourlies, we can see we've been really fighting to hold this 10k range, right? At some points it looked like we were going up, 10.5k, 10,500. We were fighting really hard, but at the minute it looks like the bears are winning. This has become now a level of resistance again, rather than support. So clearly broken that, right? So that's the play at the minute, and I think I'm going to stand by what I said in my previous video, that we need to wait and see what happens in this channel. It's probably going to bounce around. It could come as low as here, and then it'll be interesting to see what happens, because we did have a ton of support here, or previous resistance. Let's move to the hourly to see if we can spot this properly. So if we look at this, right, we had these sort of candles around here, we had this point here, and then this point here, right? And it was a point when it came down, right? So when it broke this critical range, 9,400, that's when we hit this recent low of 6k, right? So that's why it's such a crucial level. So I think it's going to be a test to see if we hold that. If we do break that level, then as I said, we'll come down to 8,500. I don't think I'll talk beyond that because I don't want to jump the gun, right? But if we do come to this level, we break this, then I think you might see more panic in the market, and possibly coming down to the 8.5k range. And then really, if you really look into it, apart from around about the 8k range, after that we don't really have anything. I don't think anything of significance, right? So if we look at the 8k, which is roughly here, we can see plenty of touch points. Actually, let me just draw a line so that we can see it clearly, right? So let me just draw this out. Let's pull out 8K. So yeah, if I draw this here, we can see we've got a clear touch point there. This is where we had massive amount of support, and again we loads of candles here. Again we sort of held here and we held here. So it's been a previous, let me get rid of it now, previous level of support. So I think that's going to be crucial, and then if we do breach that, we'll have to see. We could come all the way down to, you know, this 6K, but I don't want to jump the gun. And just to put it out there, it's still a possibility. It's just whether it's probable. Obviously, since it come down from here, the probability is increasing. However, I don't want to jump the gun here. I think we'll have to wait and see where we bounce around between this 10K, which we've breached now, and this 9,400. So that's a quick recap of what we've done previously, right? And what else did we look at? We looked at the RSI. We saw this previous resistance here, and we said, you know, it's made an attempt. I think when we did the video it was coming up again, but since then clearly it's broken that and seen rejection, so we're coming back down again. Let's make it a bit more easier to view for you guys. So yeah, so clearly we've seen a rejection. We can see we had a bit of an uptrend, if I can draw it correctly. Got the wrong one out, that's why, if I get the channel. So we can see for a period of time we were having, you know, higher highs in the RSI. I don't know why I got the channel, I could have just done it with the line. So clearly we've broken that trend and we're coming down, right? So I think for me that shows that we're going to have more of a sell-off. Again with the volume, I just don't think it's there. We can see it dropping off. Let's have a look at CoinMarketCap. And let's look at the historics. If I got it up here, here we are. So again, I come back down to that low we hit, where we hit 6K. We had 14 billion. Since then we've struggled to get above $10 billion of volume. And I'll come back to the point again, why is volume so important? Well, what we need is sustained volume, right? Like here we can see we've had this massive uptrend. So for the bulls to really take over, we need massive influx of volume. And let's see, we can see roughly, let's look at this period, right? When was this? We can see on the chart around about early December, right? 6th, 7th December. So let's move to December time. Let's move right here. So it was early December, so around about this time, right? 6th. Look at that, 12, 17, 20 billion, 13. So we had sustained volume, right, to take it up. So that's what's needed. And as I mentioned before, the volume we're having isn't really new money. If we look at the Bitcoin dominance, when we started this trend, when was this? 6th of Feb, was it? Yeah, around about 6th of Feb, 5th of Feb. So let's go back to the chart. We can see clearly we're moving up in dominance. We've hit a low of around about low 30s, 32, 33. We've gone all the way up to 39, right? So for me that shows we're shifting money from other altcoins into Bitcoin, right? So I don't think that's new money, which is something we probably need. What's happening is people are, you know, possibly putting money from altcoins into here, and then they could be selling, you know, locking their profits if they bought down here, and then basically, you know, moving their money back into altcoins or into fiat. Obviously that's not proven, but I think by looking, so we got, I think I hit the pause button by accident. So looking at the dominance, I think that's clear. It's clear, right? We can see the dominance go up, and that basically suggests that people are moving money from all these altcoins. And again, you can see the other, in terms of outside the top 10, I think that's the top 10, you know, coming down from highs of what, if we look at that 25-ish to, you know, low 20s now. So that's clear. We're just having volume from other altcoins, not seeing any new money. So I think for me, until we see that, this trend is going to continue. That's my humble opinion, right? So what do I think is going to happen? Let's move into the shorter time frame. Again, we can see I've got the actually before that, one more point. I've got my averages up here again. My simple moving averages 50, 100 and 200. So that's 50 in blue, 100 in green and 200 in yellow, right? So what we had here as well is we had a def cross. And what is a def cross? So def cross is basically when a lower moving average moves below a higher moving average. So in this case, the 50 moving below the 100, right? So it shows that momentum is dying down. And when we have a cross like that, usually what happens is we have a downtrend, right? And when it reverses back, that's usually when you have an uptrend. So that's another sort of bearish sign, right? In terms of we're going further down. So yeah, so I'll summarize at the end so that we can, as always, have a balanced view. But I think until we come to this 9,400 range, I don't think we're going to know what's going to happen in the market. You know, are we going to have a solid bounce? Are we going to have a bit of a bounce like we've seen with the 10k? I'll keep bouncing around. So we had here, right? We looked like we held this level. We went up, but we sold off again, and we're trying to hold this level. So yeah, so I think time will tell to see what happens. And what else happened as well? Not only did we see rejection here, if we delve into the 4 hours here, we've broken this channel. So we had this mini run, right, where people were saying the bull market's here, and I was saying actually let's wait till we get confirmation, because until then you're going to get burnt, right? And this is potentially what could happen. And yeah, so we can see we've broken this, so I'm going to get rid of this now because it's no longer in the channel. This is you know, no longer this line was a line of support. Now this is a line of resistance. Clearly we can see we've tried to come up, come down, so now we've got two levels of resistance. So we've got this one here, which we've touched upon 3 times now, 1, 2 and 3, and we've got this additional line right from here where we've held that in the past, but now we've broken it. Now that becomes a line of resistance. So yeah, so that's another crucial point. And then let's delve into the hourlies to even drill home further, right? So we had this break, and then what happened, right? We saw this almost like a mini channel, right? It looked like we were moving to a downside, and then I think it was late yesterday, it looked like we broke out of this and we were, you know, moving back up. We're going to test this level again, but now we've moved sort of sideways. And what does this mean in terms of the sort of bigger picture, or in the picture in terms of 60? I think for me, what we've had in the past, let's get the brush out, maybe let's try this, right, to show this was a downtrend, right? We had lower highs in terms of you know, these mini runs, and lower lows, right? So again, this is proven. We can see we've come down lower. We tried to come back up, it's been low. We come down again, but we haven't held this level. We come down low. So every time we've come down lower until this point here, and this point here we came up, right? This was actually, this looked like it was continuing. So we had a lower high, so we can see clearly lower high and then a lower low. But then here it looked like we broke out of that trend, and we're moving you know, to test this level. We had a higher high, a higher low from this level, and then we had another higher high. But rather than holding, we can see we attempted to hold. We had a bit of a fight here looking at the wicks. We've broken that, so we've got now again a lower low. And then look at this, we've got a huge amount of uncertainty, a massive fight with the bulls and bears. So I think it's a waiting game, right? It's they're fighting to see if the bears win. We'll come back down, definitely in my view, to this opinion, in terms of this level, rather, not opinion, or we'll go up, but we'll have to wait for a you know, clear direction and sign. So yeah, so let me get rid of all of that. Actually, let me just leave it for now for simplicity. So yeah, so we can see we're moving sideways towards this channel as this narrows down, and I think we'll you know, we might bounce around for a bit. As I said in my original post, right back here, is when you actually look at the historical trends. So this is based off CoinMarketCap for the last, I think, 3 or 4 years. March has always closed below February, right? So this is an interesting point. I think it'll be, we're on the 24th of March to, sorry, 24th of Feb today, so we've only got a couple of more days left. So it'll be interesting to see where we close. If we close around this level, then we'll have to break precedent, and if we're going to break higher than that, I think for me that means we're going to move to the downside as well, like a further sort of sign in some respects, you know, based on historics anyway. So yeah, so that's it really, guys. Just wanted to make this relatively quick video, give you guys my thoughts. Apologies I wasn't giving any sort of regular updates, but as I said in my last video, until we break that channel and we bounce around here, that's what's going to happen, and that's what I expect. So I think for the next video, I'm gonna wait and see we have a decisive move, and unless we got move sideways and we approach this level, then I'll probably make a video. Or if we break down from this 9,400 level, I'll make a video. Or if we break you know, again above this resistance, you know, I'll make a video. So I'll keep you guys posted. But if you hear nothing from me, I haven't changed my view. It's just me waiting for the market to tell us what to do, right? So in terms of, you know, have I changed any positions? No, I'm just holding at the minute. I'm just waiting really. So yeah, so just let's have a quick summary and we can wrap it up. So what we're saying, we can see RSI is you know, seeing rejection at this level. It's tried to come up here. Where did that line up, right? Let me try and make it a bit easier for you guys to see. I'm doing this on a laptop, so that's why it's not the easiest, so apologies for bouncing around on the screen. So this level, we can see this was our previous second high, if you like, almost the last, you know, trap even, and then we came all the way down, we are oversold, and then we saw rejection right here. So yeah, so that's again a bearish sign, right? We saw this death cross, again that could be potentially another bearish sign where the lower moving average has moved below the high moving average in terms of 50 days and 100 days. Hopefully I said that properly. Again, we've seen rejection at this bigger term bear trend, right? So again, that's 3 strikes almost. Volume hasn't exceeded 10 billion. It's struggling to hold. So yeah, so for me, it's more bearish than bullish, right? The only bullish signs that I can see is just on the news. We haven't really seen any massive, you know, FUDing articles. We've seen a few, but nothing major. You know, it's been a balanced view so far. So yeah, so that's it, guys. I'm just gonna wait. I think we'll have to see, but this is why it's so crucial for confirmation. You know, let's not wait until, you know, the bulls pushed this all the way up to here, which was 11,700. It actually took us to this level and went above this if we look at this, but we have to wait for the day to close and then potentially a few other days and see if we have a massive solid candle with, you know, no wicks, which suggests there's no fights, is a clear victory for the bulls, right? So yeah, so that's why it's so important. And as always, in terms of my view, I am very risk averse. I do not like taking risks. I'd rather go with the, you know, be on the safe side rather, and lose potential and be safe. And that way I limit my downside risk. So that's why I'm so cautious. But that's my view. So yeah, it works for me, and I'm comfortable that way. So that's it, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. I'm not doing any altcoin videos at the minute because, as we saw, you know, the Bitcoin dominance in my view is coming up. I mentioned this in the past, right? And I said when Bitcoin goes to about 40 to 50% dominance, that's when you know, the play is Bitcoin. You're better off you know, waiting for more of a discount for altcoins. What does that mean for my altcoin position? I'm still hodling. I'm not going to sell. I'm not going to try and be smart and short the market. You know, unless you experience, I think you're better off just hodling at the minute. So yeah, so that's it, guys. As always, keep the comments, likes and subscriptions coming, and I'll catch you in the next video.